It's so bizarre to even sit down and talk about this fight. It really is. Roy Jones Jr., someone who I consider possibly the greatest fighter of all time. Not in terms of his resume, probably not in terms of his achievements, but the greatest fighter of all time in terms of the eye test. At his best, Roy Jones Jr., I don't think I've ever seen anyone who I'd classed as talented. Enzo Maccarinelli, I remember when he fought David Haye, I remember him being a big, big name in the British domestic boxing scene and worldwide. Now the two guys square off, and they square off on Saturday in a fight that is, if we're honest, massively overshadowed by, the card taking place in London, headlined by Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. Isn't it bizarre if you said 10 years ago that a British title fight would overshadow Roy Jones Jr. versus Enzo Maccarinelli? Who'd have believed it? But that's where we are. Boxing's a weird sport. This happened. Both of these guys I see as pretty faded. However, both of them still retain some ability. Enzo Maccarinelli, he's been performing at light heavyweight. The step up to cruiserweight doesn't really bother him. I understand that he's kind of between the two weights and walks around as a cruiserweight anyway. Light heavyweight was ideal, but there you go. He performed with credit against Jürgen Bremer recently. Bremer won the fight. I think Maccarinelli's corner pulled him out and it was classed as a retirement. But, Enzo performed with credit. I actually saw Enzo box live last year. And, he's still got the fundamentals. He's a really decent body puncher. And he can do certain things well. I think the problem with Enzo Maccarinelli, which has always been the case, is his chin. Does he have a chin that can last at the elite level? We've seen him in some scrapes, let's put it that way, with referees, and we've seen him getting stopped in fights before. And against Roy Jones Jr., you have to question the Maccarinelli chin as a factor. Roy Jones, again, massively faded. The speed, the athleticism, the reflexes, all decreased. I think one thing that Roy Jones does still do is he carries power, and he carries legitimate power. I think it's fair to say that he carries one punch knockout power. And I just think that even at his advanced age, even being the older man, even being even more of a veteran than Enzo Maccarinelli, I think at some point in this fight, Roy Jones Jr. is going to land on Enzo Maccarinelli. And I think he's still got enough power to turn off the lights. I mean, the level of opposition that Roy Jones Jr. has been in with recently has been woeful. And Enzo Maccarinelli, I guess it's fair to say, is a pretty big step up compared with the likes that Roy Jones has actually been in with of late. The question is, though, is at this stage of his career, is Enzo going to live up? Is his chin going to live up at cruiserweight to the punching power of Roy Jones, even this Roy Jones? And I'm not sure it will. And I don't see Enzo as having the knockout power himself, because Roy Jones Jr.'s chin has got question marks over it, if we're honest. But I don't see Enzo Maccarinelli having the same one-punch knockout power as Roy Jones Jr. And whilst I think that if the fight went late, there might be a chance for Enzo Maccarinelli maybe to outpoint Roy Jones Jr., I don't rule that out. I think the favourite here, away from home, is that Enzo Maccarinelli will get caught on the chin. And I've seen Roy Jones' recent fights. The guy still has power. And I think the combination of his power and Enzo's lack of a chin at this level probably means Roy Jones Jr. does take the fight. And I predict Roy Jones Jr. to win by KO. What I would say, though, if Enzo can keep his defences tight, stick to his boxing, you need to take the old man into deep water. You need to make him work. You need to test what stamina reserves he has. Roy Jones is a celebrity. Roy Jones is a boxing commentator. He's not a full-time fighter these days. If Enzo can stay in the fight till around 7, 8, he's not out of it. Father Time will catch up with both of these guys, and we'll see which one it catches up with first on Saturday night. Let me know your thoughts on this fight. Are you excited for it? Are you slightly sad about it? Who do you see winning? Many thanks for watching.